Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So, the task for this lesson is to enable and disable scripts when applicable, i.e. whether the inventory is open or closed. But there is just one job I want to get in place first. Now, these are a series of variables that are going to work alongside the variables we created in the last video. These ones here, where battery in view, battery boost in view, and so on. So let's just quickly get these into place first. And we're going to say private of type GameObject with the capital G underscore selected battery. We'll close the line off into the comments. We'll just say battery game object for now. Now, please don't worry what these variables are going to be used for. I'm going to explain that when we actually come around to actually using the variables later in the script. But I just want to get those in place for now. So I'm just going to copy that line, and just as before, we'll paste it in 4 times. And we'll just change out the naming convention. So this one will be health pack. And we'll just change the comments as we always do as we go along. So this one will be food package. And we'll change it here as well. And we'll change this to water bottle. And again in the comments. And the last one for this block, for the energy bar, we'll need to do another block for the boost game objects, but we'll do that in a moment. So we'll just change the comment there. Let's copy the entire block, so all 5, let's paste those in. And what we'll do is we'll just put boost on the end of those naming conventions. And in fact, let's just copy boost and we'll just paste it in at the end here. And finally there, let's tidy up the comments. And let's copy boost from here where it's all in capitals. And let's just paste that into the comments here. So we'll say battery boost. I'm actually going to overwrite pack, so health boost. We'll change this from food package to hunger boost, hydration boost, and we'll change it here to stamina boost. And in fact, I'm going to change it here as well from health pack to hunger. And in fact, that should have been health. Apologies. So health boost. This one's going to be hunger, hydration, and stamina. Just tidy those up. And we'll save that off there. So that's those now done with. And we'll come back to these variables, as I said, in a later video, and I'll go through how they work. But now let's come to the main part of this video, which is for downsides that when we actually play the game and we enter the inventory, we've set the game to pause, but the scripts on the FPS controller will still work, so we don't want that. So we're going to disable the scripts. So let's come to inventory open, and we're going to put it here. If inventory open is equal to true, then we return, because we don't want to do this. We don't want to keep reading this code, should I say. If inventory is open, we only need to read it once. So what we're going to do is we press the I key and we switch to this state. Now at this point, inventory is open is still false. We're going to tell the script here to do a number of things. Then we're going to set inventory to true here, so when it comes back to the top and starts reading through the script again, now it's equal to true and it will return. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll go through it again once we've actually finished. So we're going to say monobehaviour. We're going to open and close the square type of bracket. This creates an array, and the array is my scripts. We'll say equals, and we're going to say game object with the lowercase g dot. We're going to say get components with the s on the end. We're going to open and close brackets. We're going to say monobehaviour again. We're going to open and close brackets, and we'll close the line off. Let's enter there after the equals, and let's get this into the comments. So we'll say create an array for my scripts and get all scripts, and we'll say, yeah, let's say from this, we'll open and close brackets. Actually, in the comments, we'll say player inside game object. So let's have a look. I think that will be, that's fine. For the comments, you can word it any way you want, but basically we create an array of all monobehaviour types, i.e. scripts. We give it this naming convention. We say it's equal to, and we get the scripts attached to the player, i.e. with all components of monobehaviour, which is up here. So let's come here, and we're going to say for each, we'll open and close brackets, we'll come inside, we'll say we want monobehaviour, and we're going to say script in, and we want the underscore my scripts. Let's come to the end of the line. We'll open and close there. Let's get it into the comments. So we'll say for each script in the, and I'm going to use the proper naming convention. So we'll say my scripts array. We'll come inside those brackets, and what we're going to do is we're going to say script dot enabled is going to be equal to false. We'll close the line off. We'll come into the comments. We'll say disable those scripts. And I hope that makes sense to you all. We're getting all the scripts, and now we're disabling them. We're saying for each script in that array, let's set enabled to be equal to false. And what we're going to do now is, let's have a look. We'll copy all of this. And what do we need to change? Let's have a look here. My scripts, we're going to say in children. And the reason for this is we don't just need any scripts that are attached directly to the player here, but we also need to get any scripts that are actually attached to any child game objects. So let's come back to monodevelop. So we'll create a new array of those scripts. We'll call it my scripts in children, and we'll get components, and we need to add in children. And now we need to, we'll copy this naming convention, we'll paste it in there. So we'll say for each script in that array now, let's copy it into the comments, and we'll also disable those. So we don't need to do anything with that line. Let's tidy up the comments, and I'll enter there actually. We'll cut this. Let's paste it in. So we'll say and get scripts from child game objects, and we'll say, let's put in the last line, from any child object of the player. And yes, I'm quite happy with that. For the comments, so let's come now here and let's have a look. We are missing an open bracket there. And what we want to do now is say game object with a capital G dot, we want find with tag, and what we want to make sure we are finding, so let's open and close brackets, little speech marks inside, and player dot get, and we want get component this time, singular. We'll open and close brackets, inventory, come to the end of the line, we'll open and close brackets again, dot enabled, and we're going to set that to true. Let's enter here after the dot. We'll put in the comments, find player game object, and set the inventory script to enabled, because even though we want to disable all the scripts, we still want the inventory script to work. So let's just make sure that that is set to true here. We'll come below, we'll say underscore, and we want inventory is open to be equal to true. Let's close that line off into the comments. So we'll say inventory is open equals true. Let's save that off there. So we're in the inventory ready function. We press I, we switch to inventory is open. Now at this point, as I said, this is still equal to false. So we do all of this. We also do all the code we've just input here. We then set it to true. So when the game returns back here to the top of the function, it reads down, but once it hits this if block, it no longer keeps reading these lines because it's already been done. It doesn't need to do it again, so there's no point in having it keep reading those lines. So hence the reason we return here. I hope that makes sense to all of you. If you have any problems or questions, as always, please leave them in the comments below and I will always try my best to answer for you. So with that said, we can come to the inventory closed now. And this is going to be quite simple. We're going to set the inventory open to false. So I've just copied this last line from the previous function. We'll set that to false. We'll enter here at the bottom of the function. So we set this to false when we close the inventory. We set the time scale and the cursor state back to normal, which we've already done. And what we're going to do is copy this block here. No need to copy this block where we set the inventory to enabled because it will already be actually running, so no need for that. And now we need to change this from false to true there and also there. And let's just change the comment. So we'll say enable those scripts and we'll change it here to enable. And it all works just the same. Right at the bottom of the function, let's come back and let's just copy this line from the inventory ready where we switch the state. We'll paste that in and we just switch back to inventory ready. Tidy up the comments. We'll copy that to the end and we'll save that off. So when we actually close the inventory, we set inventory open to false. We set the time and the cursor state back to normal. We enable all the scripts on the player object. We enable all the scripts on any child game object of the player. And then we switch straight away back to inventory ready. And I think we'll leave it here for this video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.